Hi guys, I've got news for you for next year. 2026 is already around the corner. And the biggest risk for a retail trader right now isn't even the markets may become more volatile. The real risk is trying to live by the old habits from 2024, 2025 and attempting to trade like before. While the rules of the game are clearly being restructured, the global economy is entering a new cycle. Central banks are diverging in their trajectories, and the currency market is once again the place where changes show up the fastest. Watch the video till the end because I'll put 2026 picture into a simple framework and explain exactly what you need to consider to act with intention instead of reacting to the news at the last second. By the way, I've created a free resource base, a compact digest with proven setups and real execution result, with detailed indicator setup instructions in the pinned messages, with fast interpretations of major macro news, with practical manuals for calculating risks when using martingale to minimize the chances of blowing an account entirely. All of this is available in one place. The link is in the description under the video. Now, there's also a promo code that gives you a bonus when depositing through partner platforms. So go in, go grab it and use it. But remember, I update the pinned posts regularly, so don't wait too long. What awaits us in 2026? If we look at the bigger picture, according to the latest IMF estimates, global growth remains moderate and is projected to be around 3.3% in 2026, while country trajectories will diverge significantly. This means that globally, the world isn't breaking, but inside it, the centers of power are constantly shifting. For markets, this usually brings not one big trend, but a series of medium-term waves. The key factor for 2026 is monetary policy. You see, in the US, the market and major banks are increasingly pricing in a continuation of an easing cycle. This is important because in such conditions, the dollar stops being an unconditional magnet for capital. In the Eurozone, according to current forecasts, inflation is stabilizing near the target. This gives the ECB room for a soft rate trajectory. Germany, for example, expects a rather moderate recovery in 2026. For the euro, this means increased sensitivity to growth data. Japan remains its own story. The Bank of Japan is gradually exiting its ultra-loose regime. Such uncertainty often becomes a source of strong yen trends, and as a result, 2026 is a classic environment for currency trends. Global trade and geopolitical risks remain on the agenda. The currency market reacts to this among the first. Now, the most practical part, how to act in such a 2026 environment. First, don't rely on only indicators. Technical tools are very useful, but they truly work when you understand the market structure. In 2026, because interest rates will diverge, there will be more trend segments, and the most sensible way to work within them is to move along the main direction. And of course, look for entries and pullbacks, meaning you first determine the direction by context and the structure of the highs and lows, see what the trend is alive, and only then use indicators as a filter for entries. This order reduces the chances of ending up trading against the overall impulse. Second, be careful trading right before and right after the news. Before central bank meetings or major data releases, the market often tightens. Movements become choppy, and after the release, there's usually a sharp volatility spike. So, in those minutes, the price can fly through levels without any logic or even snap back. If you're not building a strategy specifically for news impulses, give the market time to digest the information and wait for a more stable trajectory. This isn't about fear, but about choosing an environment where your decisions actually have statistical grounding. Third, build your own shortlist of instruments. Please don't try to trade all pairs equally. You'll almost certainly notice that your stats are more stable in some instruments than others. You feel their character better, volatility, reactions to news, correction speed, etc. In 2026, this is especially important because the market will become more multi-paced. Pairs with a big difference in rates and growth will give more directional moves, while pairs with similar conditions will more often fall into ranges. Now, if you have your own shortlist, you recognize a pair's regime faster, and don't waste any energy on what doesn't suit you. Fourth, think in series, not in single entries. 2026 will be rich in macro events, which means movements in pairs will often form waves, impulses, corrections, and continuations. It's far more productive to work within one scenario for several attempts in a row, as long as the backdrop hasn't changed, than to try and snatch one perfect moment. Risk control remains the foundation. The goal isn't to guess every tick, but to maintain working form and follow the system. If we combine everything, the idea is simple. 2026 can really change the markets, but not through a sudden collapse. Through a new distribution of forces. Rates diverge, inflation normalizes, trade risks periodically return to the agenda. Now, for a trader, this brings more directional moves in currency pairs, but also demands more discipline and contextual understanding. If you want to dive deeper, learn to combine different styles and build a hybrid strategy, message me directly. I have a close community where we break down real cases from members, test strategies for different trading styles, and help each other find their own path in trading. Selection is individual. The quality of the group matters to me more than any number of participants. All contacts and conditions are in the description under the video. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ahead are breakdowns of specific strategies for every trader type with live entry and exit example. Find your style, trade in your comfort zone, and let your deposit grow steadily.